Hello everybody, it's me, it's PokemonTripHD, and welcome back to some more Dragalia Lost content. And in today's video, I'm going to be comparing Valentine's Hildegarde with Verica. This is going to be a versus series where I compare two units, maybe more units. We'll have to see what I do in the future, and just compare them, against each other, saying which I think is better and for what reasons. So a couple things to keep in mind before we begin with this one is that I'm assuming that Verica and Valentine Hildegarde are at the same amount of investment. With equal investment, they both have access to the same weapons, the same prints, equal investment. They're both at 50 mana circles, and et cetera, et cetera. But there is something to keep in mind that Verica does require more Eldwater to get up to the same investment that Valentine Hildegarde is at, because she is a 4-star while Hildegarde is a 5-star. So just something to keep in mind, that she does require a bit more Eldwater. But of course, when it comes to raw materials, Valentine Hildegarde does require more since she's a 5-star. All 5-stars do. But again, it's just something that you should keep in the back of your mind while we discuss this. Another thing is that everything I discuss will be with HMS in mind, of course, High Midgrass Romer's Trial. I will talk about future content a little bit when I get down to one of the skills, but for the main part, I'll be discussing this with HMS in mind. Now, when it comes to HMS, of course, it's very easy, so honestly, either of these two healers will do. This is just kind of something I'm doing for fun, just to compare them, see which is actually better. So keep that in mind. They're both completely viable and completely, perfectly okay and fine with this. So, don't stress too much if you only have Verica, not Valentine's Hildegarde, or vice versa. Don't worry about it too much. They're both great healers in their own regard. So without further ado, let's actually begin with this. First up, we're going to talk about their stats. Now, they both have the co-ability of recovery potency plus 20%, as they are both healers. They both offer the same weapon. Again, they're both healers. So there's not really anything to compare over there. But when it comes to their stats, Valentine's Hildegarde actually wins in both HP and strength, rocking an HP of 805 compared to Verica's 781. And a strength of 469 to Verica's 454. Now, it's not a big difference, but it is a bit of a difference. Again, strength doesn't matter too much when it comes to healers, but HP does, since the more HP you have, the more healing you will do as a as a healer. So it is something to keep in mind, but it's not too big of a difference where you can actually see the healing difference. You really cannot. They're both, like I said, basically the same. There's 24 points difference in HP. And 15 points in strength. It's not going to make a big difference, so don't stress those small values too much. It's pretty much negligible difference. So yeah, I just did want to mention that though. Now let's actually talk about abilities before we talk about skills, since abilities I feel like is a little easier to discuss than skills, since skills is where the main meat of debate comes from. So Valentine's Hildegarde rocks Striking Strength Debilitator, which of course offers a 70% chance to reduce enemy strength by 3% for 10 seconds every time you use your Force Strike. Now, of course, these are all at maximum level for skills and abilities. Now, they both have stun res, and Valentine's Hildegarde offers skill prep 100%, while Verica offers 2 recovery potency up abilities. Now, one of the abilities for recovery potency up activates only at full HP, which granted is fairly easy to do as a healer. You just stay away from HMS, and you should get that. But there are some unavoidable hits, like the opening blast, like the chaser, like the marker, that you cannot avoid and you will take damage, but you should get back up to full pretty quickly. So you will have that 15% HP for, I would say, half the heals you do during that HMS match, which is more than enough, and they should help out a lot. Then you have the other recovery potency skill, or ability, sorry, which is just a flat out 8% increase all across the board. Again, you need to be at 5 stars to get that access to that one for Verica. Now, for Valentine Hildegarde, she has skill prep plus 100%, which means both of her skills, or all 3 if you're using, the third skill with your weapon, will be available at the start of the quest, which means that you can use them right off the bat, or you could wait until after the blast, or etc. Whatever you want to do, you will have access to them. Something to keep in mind is if your teammate is a Marth, skill prep 100% doesn't really matter too much, since once he's in red, he's going to charge up all his teammates' skill gauges to 100%. So it is something to keep in mind that if there's a Marth on the team, that doesn't really matter too much. But Valentine Hildegarde can still use both of her skills at the beginning of the battle, even with a Marth, and then get them both right back, which actually is not too bad, because that offers a heal already off the bat and offers energy up, which again, we'll talk about energy levels once we get into the skills. So it's just something to keep in mind, back of your mind. Then there's also Striking Strength Debilitator, which honestly is not useful because it's only 3%. It lowers strength by only 3%, which again, if you're taking 1,000 damage, it's only going to lower it by 30 damage. So it's really not going to be useful. It's pretty negligible damage that you're taking off, so it doesn't make too big of a difference. The maximum damage you're going to take off is like 60 HP, which again, if you're taking already 2,000 damage, it doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things. So pretty negligible damage, but in the future, there might be use for that. But again, for now, we really don't have anything where you need that. It is just an added support feature that she does have. Again, for the markers, for the chasers, for the opening blast, you can use them and reduce damage a little bit, about 100 damage overall. If you do it, maybe a little more, which can save you. So it is something that could, work in your advantage. But overall, it's not going to make too big of a difference. So overall, who wins when it comes to abilities? Just when it comes to flat-out healing, I would still say Valentine's Hildegarde wins because of her skill prep. Again, we're not taking teammates into account. And even if you do, you still get a bunch of energy levels on your teammates, which again, when you talk about skills, we'll talk about energy levels. So I think Valentine's Hildegarde does win when it comes to abilities, just flat out. But of course, Verica offers more healing with her abilities, but I believe skill prep makes up for that when they're not, when you're not taking teammates into account. With that being said, let's hop into skills, which is where the meat of things really comes from. Now, the first skills are almost identical. I'm going to start them both off. Restores HP to all allies with 44% recovery potency. Now, where the difference comes in is Hildegarde's increases the entire team's energy levels by 1 stage, whereas Verica removes stun. So, Valentine's Hildegarde offers an extra energy level, where Verica removes stun, which again, when you're in HMS, he does inflict stun. But if you bring a stun res unit, you're not going to need to remove stun, whereas Hildegarde gives that energy level to every single member on the team. What do energy levels do if you're not aware? Energy levels, once you have 5 of them, 5 energy levels make you energized, and it makes your next healing skill or attacking skill boosted. So it does even more damage or even more healing, which again affects every single one of your teammates, not just the user. So that's what energy levels do. The rest of the skill reads out like this and applies regen for 15 seconds, healing with 35% regen potency every 2.99 seconds. So it's the exact same skill, except that Valentine's Hildegarde offers energy, or 1 energy level, where Verica removes stun. For second skills, this is where they're just completely different. Hildegarde offers a shield skill, which nullifies damage less than 30% of the user's maximum HP. That is the user's maximum HP, not the teammate's maximum HP. So if you have a maximum binded Phoenix on your Hildegarde, you're gonna have about 3,000 HP, depending weapons and etc. About 3,000 HP. So anything less than 1,000 damage, 1,000 HP worth of damage on your teammates, they will not take it. And your teammates should not be taking more than 1,000 worth of damage unless they're dying to the 8 wage. So that shield's basically blocking 1 hit. Again, it prevents stun before it happens, whereas Verica heals stun as it happens. And again, you just need to have that healing, that heal skill ready for Verica, whereas Hildegarde, you can use it and it prevents stun from happening because you don't even get hit since you have the shield up. So that's kind of the comparison for those. For Verica, her second skill is basically the 4-star Flame Elemental Wands, standard 4-star Flame Elemental Wands healing skill, which restores HP to the team member most in need with 250% recovery potency. Now, the big debate comes from these skills. Who has the better skill set? Looking at them both, I would say Verica has the better skill set only when it comes to playing with worse teammates or playing with new teammates or playing it safe. In HMS public lobbies, you're probably going to want to run a Verica. But if you're playing with teammates who are good, teammates who are good, your friends, etc., who are good, who will not die or get hit by random spits from HMS, then Valentine's Hildegarde is better, since she does offer energy. Also, I didn't mention her second skill offers 2 energy levels. So she has 3 energy levels if you use first skill and second skill. So that is something to keep in mind. So, first skill, second skill, and then second skill again would offer your full, your full energize, and you can go ahead and get your boost with your, your burst heal, or maybe your burst damage for your teammates, or all of them, honestly. Again, if you get status, the energize thing goes away, it resets, so just something to keep in mind. Removing stun. Now, Verica removes stun as it happens, right after it happens, where Valentine's Hildegarde prevents stun from happening. I think removing it as it happens is better when you're playing with, newer players, or if you're playing with, I would say newer players mainly, because if you're playing with an experienced player, they shouldn't really get stunned at all if they're experienced. So it doesn't make too big of a difference. But again, if you're playing with newer players who are learning a fight, Verica is probably better since they're going to get hit a lot for the most part. Again, the very first attack from HMS, the opening blast, is a stun, so you will get stunned there. You cannot shield the stun with Valentine's Hildegarde. It's not possible to shield that. Well, it might be possible, but for the most part, you cannot shield that. So that's always going to grant the stun, whereas, you know, Verica can heal that stun. But if, again, playing with better players, the energized system is better since it will add more DPS, more overall DPS. You'll get that clear faster and easier with a Hildegarde on your team than with a Verica on your team if you're playing with experienced people because of the energized system. Again, the extra heal on Verica is good because if you're playing with newer players or players who aren't as good, they're going to get hit a lot, so you're going to need that extra heal. Whereas for Hildegarde, you know, she only has that first skill to heal. So newer players, and also you got to keep the SP cost in mind. The SP cost for Verica's skills are less than the SP cost for Hildegarde's skills. So, you know, she can charge up basically 2 of her skill 1s, or 2 times her skill 1 by the time Verica, you know, or Valentine's Hildegarde barely charges, you know, starts charging the second one. So just something to keep in mind. Not a big, huge, giant gap, but it is a gap that needs to be paid attention. But again, that skill prep plus 100% does close down that gap a little bit. So it's not super noticeable when you're running Hildegarde. So all in all, who has the better skills? Who is better? Again, like I said, Verica is better when you're playing with newer players. It really depends on your teammates rather than the actual, you know, player. Your teammates are good, Hildegarde will be better. If your teammates are not as good, or maybe they're newer, Verica will be better. That's really what it comes down to. But overall, who's better? I would say Valentine's Hildegarde is the winner of this versus, since she does offer more DPS, more support overall, rather than just raw healing. That's all Verica does. She only offers healing, whereas Valentine's Hildegarde gets you clearing faster, as well as offering healing that is more than enough as long as you're playing with, you know, good players who don't really get hit too often. So again, Valentine's Hildegarde is the winner. And of course, this is all just my opinion, what I think. What do you think? Do you think Valentine's Hildegarde is better? Do you think Verica is better? Let me know in the comment section down below. What other verses do you want to see next? I'll think who I'll do next. I'm not really sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, this is all just my opinion. If you disagree, let me know why you disagree. Back it up with some facts, and we can debate in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope this is a great time, and until next time, have a nice trip.